Josh Burns. Josh will be evaluated by Lee Ruff. Lee, if you would please give us Josh's objectives.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and Mary Ann. Today, Josh is speaking from the advanced series of speaking manuals, Speaking to Inform. He's doing project number 2, Resources for Informing. And his objectives are to analyze your audience regarding your chosen subject. I want you to remember that I'll reindeer. Focus your presentation on the audience's level of knowledge. Build a supporting case for each major point using information gathered through research. And effectively use at least one visual aid to enhance the audience's understanding and Mr. Toastmaster, Mr. Timer, he's asked for 6 to 8 minutes.
As we all know, we are in the middle of the holiday season. Josh is here today to enlighten us on many meanings and traditions that we see this time of year. His speech entitled, So This Is Christmas, Josh Burns, So This Is Christmas.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, guests, friends. What is the meaning of Christmas? Why do we have the holiday? What does it commemorate? What do we celebrate?
Retail sales.
Winter solstice.
All correct answers. All correct answers. But yes, it is commonly associated with the birth of Jesus Christ. December 25th, middle of winter. Now, the Bible itself does not specify exactly when Jesus was born. So you have to wonder, how do we know that December 25th is Jesus' birthday? Well, there's some clues. In the 5th century, one of the popes said that basically the Immaculate Conception happened in the 6th month of the Jewish calendar, and 9 months from that would have been December 25th in December. But historical evidence has pointed out that December 25th is actually the day that coincided with a celebration, a pagan celebration for the winter solstice that was held on December 25th, in which gifts were given, trees were worshipped, all that kind of stuff. And when the Roman government, civilization, however you want to phrase it, when the Romans converted to Christianity, they had all of these holidays and traditions that they couldn't just say, well, we can't do that anymore because Jesus is our God now and you can't worship that other God. And they wanted to give people the opportunity to still do this. So they said, hey, you know what? Here's an idea. Let's apply Christian meanings to these holidays. So, December 25th, what used to be a time of celebration of the winter solstice, the days were going to be getting longer, we're going to get more sunlight, it'll be great, became Happy Birthday, Jesus. Now that's just one example of a tradition that we have for the holiday, the date of this holiday, and how that came about, that a lot of people aren't aware of. Almost every single tradition that we have, from Christmas trees to lights to gift giving, all of these have origins to things that you probably would not expect. I'm not going to go over all of these origins because we don't have 3 or 4 days for me to stand up here and lecture.
Yeah, really.
But let's take an example. Anybody recognize this guy?
St. Nicholas.
St. Nicholas, yeah. Santa Claus. Good old St. Nick, Father Christmas. Okay, this one's smaller. I'll try and point around, then I'll pass it around so you guys can take a look at it. Okay, go ahead and pass that one around so everybody can get a good clean look at it. Santa Claus. Where did this guy come from? Has he been around for 100 years? 200 years? I don't know. It actually originated with St. Nicholas. There was a Christian monk in the 3rd century who, according to tradition, left his, gave away his wealth and possessions and traveled to what is now modern-day Turkey and ministered to people there, and was known for being very giving, tossing any money that he had into windows of poor families, or if the windows were locked, possibly down vents or chimneys, the equivalent types of things at the time. And after he passed, there was the rumor that since he was ordained a saint, that he had the ability to continue to do this. And it was basically that tradition. St. Nicholas is going to come by and give you gifts on Christmas, because that's the most holy day of the year, because it's the day that our Savior was born. And that's how the tradition started. And over time, it adapted. Now, the picture that's being passed around is an example of how St. Nicholas, or Father Christmas, which was a nickname that he was given, or Santa Claus, which is what he was referred to, how he was referred to in Europe, which ended up being translated into Santa Claus. That's one of the ways he was viewed. Ever since then, up until about 1931. Now, what changed in 1931 that took our beloved Santa from that to this?
Coca-Cola ads.
Coca-Cola ads. In 1931, Coca-Cola started displaying images of Santa Claus working, and they made his costume match their color scheme. So, because there were so many ads all over the place for Coca-Cola, and they all featured Santa wearing red and white, that just became the view of Santa. And eventually, that's just the standard. Despite what the claymation Santa Claus is coming to town movie may tell us, that is what happened. So those are just two examples of some traditions that we have, how they originated and how they morphed into what we have today. I'd love to get into more. I don't have the time today to get into more, but I do want to bring up an important point, and that is this. How these things originated, what their original meanings were, mean nothing. Just like any words that somebody can speak, they mean nothing. How people perceive those words, what meaning you give these traditions, that is what carries weight. What is the meaning that you give to Christmas? What's the meaning that you give to giving gifts on Christmas? For myself and my family, giving gifts on Christmas is related to faith. We treat it as a celebration, as the birth of Christ. God gave us the gift of his Son. Therefore, we give gifts to other people. That is the meaning that I have for Christmas and for giving gifts. So this Christmas, rather than asking yourself, what does society and the norm want me to do for this holiday, look deep inside and ask yourself, what does this mean to me? How can I make the lives of those around me and my own life richer by really thinking about and applying a personal meaning to this holiday and embracing that and passing that on, hopefully, to others and future generations. Take the opportunity over the next few weeks to find a random person and take that holiday spirit, whether it be a kind word, an offer for a prayer, a gift, a card, a hug, whatever it may be, somebody you don't know, and give it to them. Pass that along. And you'd be surprised how far it continues to be passed along.